You know, there's at least 2 things wrong with this title. But there's way more than 2 things wrong with this book. How odd. I don't have a doorbell. Oh, there's at the door. Come on. Oh. Hey, it's my good buddy Chad. What's going on, good buddy Chad?
What's up?
So, good buddy Chad. It's my good buddy Chad. You're in your him. My good buddy Chad.
Hey, did I get the day right? You wanted me to come over?
For
The podcast?
the podcast.
Cast.
That was...
A thing we're doing.
Wait, who's doing what?
You're recording a podcast with me. You told me to come over. It's the one you insisted on having. You sent like 5 emails about it. 5 emails is fine, but in a day?
Of course. Yes. You mean the Hollywood News movie talk show, The Minute, brought to you by Movie Night Autopsy.
What are you doing? Oh. Oh, man. You're hamming it up, aren't you? Oh. If you think we're going to get a picture of us back to back with our arms crossed, looking at each other, stop. No. Need 2 people to do that picture, and I'm not doing it. I'm sick of this shit. You pulled this shit last week. Did the same thing, and you can't be the Murtaugh to my Riggs. I mean, it's kind of awkward.
No, you're Murtaugh, I'm Riggs.
You didn't even know which righteous brother you wanted to be. You just said, I'm the guy on the left. Dude, it doesn't work that way with brothers. Maybe the Everly brothers a little bit, but only like a little bit. The righteous, come on, man. You can't do that to righteous brothers, and you can't do that to me. This isn't fair.
Well, look, listen. Just hear me out. Well, all right. So I guess here we are.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get to it now.
All right, man. What are we doing today?
Sorry, I don't know what happened over there. I guess I completely forgot that we set up all this equipment, all this extra equipment, so that we can do this on camera now for the first time ever. I know, right? It really ties the room together. So anyways, what brings us here today is we're going to be talking about the year in review for the movies that, you know, that have happened, that have come out, people are talking about. We're going to drop our 2 cents.
Oh, this sounds like a lot of fun.
On the movies, the year in review. It's only January though, so we can only talk about those movies. So
So we're doing a year in review in January
yeah.
so far
Uh-huh.
of this year.
Yep.
The one we're in,
That's the one.
January.
Yeah, I can't make it any clearer than I already have.
I think that's my issue. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's get right down to it.
I'm excited, man. Let's talk about
Chad,
this
what
movie.
did you think of How to Drain Your Dragons hiding the movie from theaters?
I did not see that one.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not see it.
Oh, did you see Escape Room?
No.
Yeah, I heard it was a dumpster fire. I didn't see that.
No, I missed that one.
I didn't see that.
How about Serenity Now? Serenity Now.
Serenity Now?
Now.
With McConaughey. And
McConaughey.
Anne Hathaway. And it's crazy.
McConaughey, Hathaway. McConaughey.
Yeah. No, you're not. I did
Yeah,
not see
yeah. I also did not see that
I
one.
did not see that one. How about A Dog's Way, Homeward Bound 3, The Search for Spot? Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah, the movie about the dog that had to find his way.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
I don't think anyone watches those movies
No.
anymore. No.
Mm-mm. Did you see the unprecedented move between Netflix and Hulu? They worked together to make a documentary about the Fire Festival, the one that scammed thousands of people out of thousands of dollars, and they really worked together to like bridge the streaming community together and all that. I'm just kidding. That's not what they did. They didn't do that at all.
Okay.
It was really cutthroat.
Okay.
They undercut each other, and it was bad. It was ugly.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Was it Fire with a Y?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I didn't see either one of them. There were 2 of them, and
Oh,
I
was it good?
didn't see either. Did you see Glass?
Yeah. I saw Glass. Glass was good.
Yeah, I liked Glass.
I like Glass. I like Glass a lot.
Glass was.
That was a good one. That was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for
A lot
what
of
it
people
is. I
don't like
guess.
it,
So
but I
I
like it.
guess we both are in agreement
Yes, 100%.
on Glass.
It was a movie.
So that means that we are not split.
I asked you to turn that off already.
Oh,
Seriously.
sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I guess that's all the movies for the year. That's all of them.
It is?
We just went over all the movies for the year,
Like all of them?
2019.
I felt, I live
Can you believe
across
it?
town. It's a long drive over here.
Yeah, what can you do?
takes-
That's it. That's the show. There it is, everybody. Bye. Credits. Woo! So, Chad, what movies came out in the year of our Lord 2018 that you that resonated with you? What do you think? What do you got?
It's interesting because I feel like most people are like, oh, this year was a horrible year for movies because of blah, blah, blah. I personally think 2018 was a kick-ass year for movies.
Yeah,
much good stuff came out.
I'm pretty sure Socrates had some bad things to say about plays that were coming out the last year
Yeah.
he was alive.
They can't all be zingers.
And yeah, like that still goes on today. And sure, there was plenty of garbage that came out, but
I didn't really see it, though.
that can be said about every year.
Yeah, but I just feel like
a lot of really good stuff came out.
so many movies I
last
went
year.
and saw that I just really loved. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it's because I have like an AMC pass thing now that makes me go to the movies
Yeah, that
more
was
often for cheaper.
That
I see more
was a
movies.
nice thing that we haven't had until last year.
Yeah.
I believe that the first part of my year was spent and I had Movie Pass,
Yeah, same.
and the last part of my year was spent and I had AMC.
Right.
So it was
And
just
it's like life before AMC and life after AMC.
and just
when you
like
see a movie.
the ease of going to see movies.
Oh, it's just so much easier.
So
I might
of
do it
course,
after this.
just going to see more.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good stuff that came out last year. But why don't you, like, off the top, what are a couple that you just have to mention?
Well, I mean, your list is probably going to be similar to my list. I think we're both we're fans of like
there's a lot of movies that we went and saw, and in some degree we talked about.
yeah, but we're both fans of like genre flicks,
Mhm.
and I feel like and this year's a great year for genre flicks because they
It was.
really use whatever genre they're working with to do something else or say something else. So I'm always gonna. I mean, it goes without saying we always talk about Sorry to Bother You but I feel like we've
We've
been down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure that we'll continue to mention Sorry to Bother You,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but there's
Well, I mean,
just
we are on microphones.
we went
We're gonna always mention
we
it.
went so deep into that with our conversation, like,
Yeah.
But apart from that, like, I believe that we want to talk about it someday with everybody else. But Assassination Nation, of course, is
Yeah, there's
one of those that kind of came and went, didn't get the attention that it needed.
It was the most underrated movie of last year, and I mean like if you-
underappreciated for sure.
Yeah, but you're judging it solely based on a scale of no one hearing about it. Like I'm not saying it's the best underrated movie of last year, but it is the most underrated movie of last year.
Well,
but
yeah,
it is
yeah.
solid.
Like I
Like,
can't
don't know anyone
believe
who saw besides the four of us.
I
who went
just
on
I
one
can't
night.
believe that in the year of like not to generalize, but like all the social movements and everything that went down.
Why didn't just jump out at people?
Yeah, I can't believe that that's a movie that got swept under the rug. In
It's
that
because of
kind
the
of climate.
advertising.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I heard.
But how do you
Lack of
advertise it for a movie that has about 5 minutes of not R-rated footage in it?
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's if you're lucky.
I have to check that math, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right on that.
Yeah, but that was definitely
It was
a great
super
flick.
powerful, and it made its point
It has a lot to say.
extremely, ferociously and viciously.
It has an awful lot to say.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason that I brought that one up right away is just because I feel like, like we already just got Sorry to Bother You out of the way, and it's like
Yeah, we
in
gotta go
terms
through
of movies that had something to say this year, it was Assassination Nation and Sorry to Bother You for me.
Yeah, for the most outspoken point. I feel like every movie has a point it's
They're
making, but
grabbing
those are-
you.
yeah.
Well, I mean, every movie that's done well or has some sort of vision behind it is going to have something to say to you. But these movies like grab you by the
it's-
shoulders and shake you and scream in your face what they have to say.
Yeah, that and the fact that everything they talk about is so socio-cultural relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is solid. I can't believe it's. I thought it would blow up on Blu-ray, and
It'll find its audience. I'm sure that it will.
I think once it gets on a streaming, if Assassination Nation got on Netflix.
I'd see it on Hulu before Netflix. I don't know why.
How do you spell fire? With an I or a Y?
So another movie that I really liked. Drew Goddard, guy that did Cabin in the Woods, which we watched that way back.
No, that was
with-
one of those
with the
early
group.
movie nights. And we actually haven't recorded anything about it.
Yeah, we never
should redo that.
we never talked about
Yeah, it was
it.
a good
I'd be willing to do that and Bad Times at the El Royale because that's
Bad Times.
that was that's definitely towards the top. I mean, like it's a movie that has problems, like
Yeah.
sure, but it's just such a fun ride, and like all the characters in it, just they have so much heart to them, and all the portrayals are top notch. Like everybody's really buying into what they're doing
The
there.
performances, the range of the characters that exist in this world, how it's choosing to tell its story, it catches a lot of shit. I don't feel like for the storytelling style,
know.
and I
I
don't
don't
think
know
that's
that-
fair. I don't think that's fair.
I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't catch any shit. I don't know that movie made enough waves to catch any shit.
Nerds on the internet complain about
Really?
everything.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
sure, like for everything that exists, you can
I
find
can't imagine us doing that.
you can find a corner on the internet that is complaining about it. It
Yeah,
doesn't
totally.
matter how obscure that it is. But no, that was a movie that like kind of sort of came and went, and like we were all really excited to go and see it because we had seen the trailers. We talked about it on one of the other segments, and
Yeah.
we were really excited to go and see this new Drew Goddard
I think
movie.
it's not opening weekend.
And like it just looks so flashy and colorful and cool, and it kind of looks
So,
like
Have you heard the soundtrack? Just throw it on.
I mean,
It's awesome.
that is a soundtrack that I would own.
Oh yeah.
I don't own it. I don't.
Well, it's hard to
but,
find. Like yeah.
But I would. I would own it. I'm telling you that I would own it. The Minute is brought to you by
Yeah.
filmed in front of a live audience, a live studio audience of Sam's dog.
All right, where were we at?
Oh, the soundtrack.
Okay.
But Darlene Sweet is her character's name, and like, man, what an incredible voice
That
she
was
has.
so great, and it was shot live on set too. They didn't.
Oh,
open
that's
up any
not
of
that's
that.
not like a sound studio that she's.
No.
Wow.
So that oneer they do of
I did not know that.
The oneer of John Hamm
Wow.
like walking down the hallway and seeing all this stuff,
And he clicks the
hers,
radio on.
and she's singing, and then he leaves it on.
Oh, by the way, spoilers on the movies that we're going to be talking about. We're going to try to limit those, but
They had a year.
they're gonna. But like they're gonna.
Catch up.
They'll happen. They'll happen occasionally.
Yeah, but he turns it on and then he walks away and looks at someone else, but she's still singing with the rhythm of the camera movement, kind of smooth, all live, dude.
Well, that's
They
probably what the
spent weeks behind
metronome's doing there. It's probably
Yeah,
more
yeah.
for the cinematographer's sake.
Yeah, probably.
And man, and just the way that they incorporate that later too, because like later on with the Reverend and the hammer, and she's like clapping along to try to like hide that.
Yeah.
I don't really want to get too into it, just in case there is anybody who hasn't seen that movie. If you haven't, by God, go see.
What are you doing?
Go pick it up. I'm sure it's on Redbox. You can probably rent it on
Yeah.
Amazon. I don't know. Just watch it. It's worth it. It's worth the 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I think it's going to start gaining traction because I was at the Redbox the other day and I noticed that anytime I go up there, Assassination Nation is always sold out at the Redbox. So I think it's gonna blow up at some point.
Good.
It's a matter of time.
Good. You know what I really hope? I really hope that like people look that like particularly like I hope that there's a certain kind of like certain type of men that look at the cover and think, "Oh, I want to see this movie. A bunch of hot ass bitches like fucking shit up. I want to see that shit because they need that message."
Yeah,
They-
yeah. If
they're
their
the ones
response
who
is
really need
quote
that message.
hot ass bitches, and
This-
then they watch that movie, then that's who needs to see that
That's
movie.
who needs to see it.
And they're just like, I don't know what my boner's doing.
Maybe that was the point.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
Sam Levinson, you brilliant bastard.
Brilliant bastard.
Sam Levinson.
Really? Just finish this conversation, damn it.
All right, but what else? Like, because there's a lot of movies that came out this year that were really good. What were some other ones that were
Oh, dude.
that we're excited about?
I mean, I brought it up all the time when we talk about movies, and I think I brought it up a lot during our Oscar talk. Big fan of A Quiet Place, and just what.
Oh
it did.
yeah, that's one of those that I haven't seen, but it wasn't on purpose. It's one of those that I keep meaning to see, and I just haven't gotten around
I
to
think I
it
saw it
yet.
twice because I was talking to someone about it, and then they were like, "Well, let's just go."
I mean, it's
And then I
well,
dropped everything to go see it twice.
well to phrase it a certain way, it's one of those movies that like it was expected to get some Oscar recognition, and it
Yeah.
didn't get much, if any, Oscar recognition, and people are upset about that.
People are really upset.
And that
about- yeah.
that speaks to the quality of the movie, though. Like
Yes.
people wouldn't be upset about it not getting that kind of recognition unless it
It's
you know,
just
for all intents and
like
purposes, maybe deserved it.
the execution of the concept. It's not just crazy sci-fi aliens, but like very specific in how they give you the information.
Yeah,
Like
and that
on
goes
all the
to
senses.
John Krasinski. I know that it was like a
Yeah.
passion project for him.
Yeah.
And like an article that I was just glancing at, I didn't read the whole thing, but I think the title was "Poor John Krasinski," and it was just like, oh man, really?
Poor
Is that
John
bad?
Krasinski made A Quiet Place.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Like it was after the Oscar
Oh
nominations
yeah,
came out, and that's a whole other
that's a whole
conversation.
other conversation.
Which we may have at one point in time. I don't know. We don't really like talking about awards shows in this
Even though we've done it.
medium, but. And then like of course there were some of the bigger movies because like we talked about a lot of movies that came out this year.
Yeah.
On through just through
Every
all the
episode of whatever we're doing.
all the ways of whatever
all
it is that we're working on that week. We've found plenty of ways to talk about a lot of the newer movies that we liked, but there were a handful of them that like might have gotten mentioned, but we didn't really dive into them. And like, two of them I can think of off just right now. Both of them are westerns. One of them, I don't believe you've seen, The Sisters Brothers.
No, you told me about that, and you were like,
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
you have to see this, and then
John C. Reilly.
It left theaters like that day. It was weird.
I think it was only playing in this area for about maybe 2 weeks.
That's
Something like that.
weird, and I still don't even know. I feel like your situation with The Sisters Brothers is my situation with A Quiet Place. Like, I love it, and I want to talk about it. And you respect that, and then vice versa.
But to be fair, A Quiet Place has gotten lots of recognition.
But
like,
who did the Sisters Brothers?
I don't remember the guy's name. It's a French director, and this is his first English speaking. Primarily English speaking movie.
But like
he's made entirely.
The way you talked about Sisters Brothers when you first saw it was like,
reminded
me.
It's an incredible movie.
Yeah,
it's like. It starts off exactly how you would expect a Western to start off, and it frames a Western story, and then throughout the telling of the story, it completely subverts what a Western story is and what Western heroes are, and it's a very impressive work. And the acting is great across the board. If anything, I have to say, like, female characters are kind of underutilized. I don't know if that's like a thing about like the time period more so than it is about the story itself. But what is there is great. Like John C. Reilly is a tour de force in it. It's like you forget how good he is at being a dramatic actor.
Yeah, everyone forgets he's in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, and and it's weird because a couple months later he was in Holmes and Watson. It happened.
Yeah, it did.
But
on Christmas Day.
But yeah, it was the exact same year that he did the movie like The Sisters Brothers.
Yeah. One that like was I especially enjoyed was Green Book.
Yeah, that's one of those that like I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to, but that's one of those that I keep hearing people on like two sides of it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's based on a real story. Watching Mahershala and Viggo Mortensen work off each other so well. It's mostly them in the movie. There's other people floating around because at some point they have to team up to like fight the evil that is racism. I mean, they don't say that in the script, but that's pretty much what's happening.
Does Tim Curry show up as the evil clown It?
Only when he's not playing the devil.
I see.
But the fact that like Peter Farrelly of like Farrelly Brothers, Stuck on You, Dumb and Dumber fame.
How are you going to bring up Peter Farrelly of the Farrelly Brothers and name multiple movies of theirs, and one of them is not Something About Mary?
I was trying to do 2 and not 3 so I could speed up the conversation.
Fine. So
there's Something About Mary fame. He does this crazy dramatic turn that's funny. It has heart, which
it's funny.
Which all humor comes from is really the heart, and that gives.
Yes, I remember reading that in the medical journals.
Yeah, it's right there. It's where the funny is. It's all in the heart.
In the medical schools.
Yeah. So you get like, even when people
about
have these
funny.
So you get like, even when these people have these serious scenes, like Linda Cardellini plays like his a housewife, but it goes back and forth from like her kind of being funny about the whole thing to like being a working mom going through this alone in the holidays, and then go back to like, because her husband's on the road, she barely hears from him, and then she gets like a subplot is like he writes her letters, but Tony Lip is like bad at writing letters, so Mahershala like helps him write these letters, and they just became so wonderfully poetic. I hate you so much. And watching Linda Cardellini go through all of those, man, she doesn't give enough credit for anything.
Well, if you smash her name together and say it real fast, it doesn't really sound like a name. It sounds like Linda Cardellini. It's just like ribdi-gibba-joob. I think that's kind of interesting. So Chad.
Yeah.
What do you think was worse? Venom or Aquaman?
Venom.
It's a tough call too.
It is, but I have a theory.
No, well, I agree. I think Venom was the worst of the two movies.
Yes.
But why do you think Venom was the worst of the two movies?
They were trying really hard and didn't accomplish it. There's this theory out there about Aquaman that the things that are bad about it, like the cheesiness factor and the over the top part.
Oh, it's straight up schlock. It's like the most expensive schlock ever made.
Yeah, it's like they know what they're doing.
And like Venom is like schlock on a budget.
Yeah, but like with Venom, they just tried to make like a crazy action movie, and it worked here and failed in different places.
But like one that took place in 2004.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Punisher movie or something. Actually, I like the Punisher movie. That's not a fair.
Oh man,
comparison.
did you hear about whenever Dave Bain came around? Like yeah, he's just all about the Punisher movie. And his opinion, it gets better every time you see it. It's nuts.
The one
it's
in
wild.
Tampa with John Travolta.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah, nothing gets better every time you do it in Tampa. I'm sorry.
You know what's get better? You know what gets better every time you do it in Tampa? Leaving Tampa.
There you go. That's it. That's it. And even then, sometimes you just get stuck trying to leave Tampa and you just can't because of fucking traffic and just oh my god, I just want to.
Sometimes the plane's delayed and you're still in Tampa.
And you're still in Tampa.
Still in Tampa.
Just
Sometimes-
like Tampa.
Sometimes you think you're like messing around in Clearwater. No, you're messing around in Tampa.
Just like Tampa. So yeah, I mean, personally, I felt that like Aquaman was technically the better made movie. Like it, like clearly more money went into it. Like clearly, like they had a crew that was more accustomed to doing this kind of like huge scale
Also,
action.
The budgets were probably pretty close.
Oh no, not even close. No,
Oh,
no,
really?
no. The studio, I'd have to look it up, but the studios did not spend very much on Venom. It was like somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 million. Like Deadpool 1 money.
That needs I
Like,
think
that.
Venom needs at least 120, 130.
If that.
And an extra year for CGI.
And I mean, like, well, that's one of my slights for Venom in terms of the technical aspect. Like Aquaman, it was clearly very expensive. Like, and I do think that movie is schlock. It checks all the major boxes for schlock. Like
It's just-
cheesy dialogue,
Yeah.
no
Oh,
chemistry. Like the narrative is just a bunch of random shit that happens one after the other, and then you just have like a character jumping around in the middle of it, going like, "Whoa, can you believe that's going on?" And just like jumping to the next explosion.
Yeah.
Like-
But it was fun. That's why it gets credit. You had a blast watching it. I had a blast
I did
watching
not have a
I
blast.
had fun. I didn't enjoy Venom much. I saw it because I had nothing else going on that day.
Venom was short though.
That's true.
Aquaman is over 2 hours long.
I mean, there's like this.
By the end of
giant
it, I'm
epic
done.
Sea. It's not even a sea war. It's more of like a sea atrocity. Like how many people are fighting. It's like a crusade.
you don't care about any of it because
It
like
just looks cool. That's it. It's
yeah,
like, that's
like,
a lot of
it's
stuff
just like,
happening.
Like the crab people from South Park are in this movie now, like, and now and
crab people.
they're fighting the. I guess these are the Atlanteans. I don't know. Like I don't know anything about the
I think
Atlanteans.
it's like proto-Atlanteans.
I don't know.
too.
I know nothing about Atlantis or the Atlanteans after watching that movie. So I guess those are the Atlanteans.
Yeah, you
I
just gotta take it on
don't.
face
I
value.
don't know. They're just there, and then you've got fucking Night Owl just chewing the scenery to pieces.
I like Night Owl chewing the scene to pieces.
That's the best part of the
It is
movie,
the
if
best
you
part
ask
of the
me.
movie. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
is-
That and the Black Manta fight scenes are really good.
Yeah, the Black Manta fight scenes look good. Like, the sequences are kind of just thrown together. It's literally like they just were throwing shit at the wall to see what stuck, and none of it really fit together. But some of the patterns looked kind of neat, so they were just like, "We'll make it work." But one of the better patterns from the shit on the wall was that rooftop chase scene. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That was cool.
rad.
And like the Black Manta stuff did look kind of neat. It was neat, like just being a comic book fan in general. I was never like huge into the Aquaman stuff, but I knew who Black Manta was.
Yeah.
And I've said it before, I never would have believed that the Black Manta, as he appears on the page, would be seen.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, I'm sure. But then you do see him, and they are true to his original outfit. That line of I'm gonna need a bigger helmet. Like,
But like,
just
they know
my
that's
eyes
crap.
rolled out of my
They
head.
know that's crap.
Just because, hey, look, this is not an underwater lost skeleton of Cadavra. It's an underwater a lot of things. And in fact,
Underwater anything.
in fact, I walked out of the theater and I brought up Twitter, and the first thing that I tweeted out about it was so Aquaman is essentially quotation marks thing that you're familiar with but underwater.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's what it is. It's like, oh, it's like Star Wars but underwater.
yeah.
It's like The Lion King but underwater.
It's so
Oh, it's like Lord of the Rings but underwater.
there's so much of it that you can be like, oh, it's like Duel but underwater.
But underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of that. But it is definitely the better made of the two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Venom though, like Venom's got Tom Hardy. That's pretty much it.
Yep. And Tom Hardy.
And Tom Hardy Tom Hardy carries Venom's got Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy carries a bad movie better than Jason Momoa carries a bad movie.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa just has a lot more like bells and whistles going on around him. But yeah, like if I had to watch Tom Hardy be Eddie Brock in a bad movie or watch Jason Momoa be Arthur Curry in a bad movie,
I watched Tom Hardy. Yeah.
I mean, and not only that, but you're out the door faster with Tom Hardy.
Yeah, and that's why I think people have more hopes for this other sequel they talk about possibly with.
I mean, we'll see, but
We'll see.
But take that goddamn mop off of Woody Harrelson's head.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What is up with
I'm
that?
sure it's canon to the comic, but
And how
does
lame
everything
is
have
it
to
that
be
he's
canon
just
to the
like,
comic?
oh, there's gonna be carnage.
Yeah, you could have had like a
Did-
tape recorder
did-
of his voice and and like his headshot
Like you're
from the '80s when he got
like,
on
oh,
Cheers,
it's.
and it would have been fine.
Did you hear that,
as long as you said
everybody?
the word carnage.
Did you hear it, John? Did you hear it? He said the name of the character that he's eventually gonna be.
Oh, it's like an Easter egg. That's not an Easter egg.
Like,
You gotta look for an Easter egg.
like you remember-
You know what people don't do? Give you Easter eggs. That's not the point.
yeah, nobody says
Same
Happy
thing.
Easter. Here's your egg.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Now I don't have to look for it. It's genuine. This feeling.
I got this.
It's not the same thing.
I got this silver platter to put the egg on for whenever I presented it to you.
Let's move on to the next one.
So yeah, it's just like Jack Nicholson in As Good as It Gets. Whenever he says, "I guess that this is as good as it gets."
It's like Michael Keaton in Batman when he says I'm Batman.
No, but anyways,
Like Harrison Ford in Star Wars when he says this is a Star Wars.
but so what else do we have from the year in review 2018? Did you see Bird Box?
Yeah, I saw it. Well, I did. I saw it like a week ago, so I don't think it counts as 2018. It did come out in 2018. I saw Bird Box. So Bird Box is just messes with you. Remember how much in Nightcrawler when we watched Nightcrawler, like we had to take breaks? That's what we did with Bird Box. It's just heightening your suspense for the whole time, and you're just like on this crazy ride, and it's intense. It doesn't work the same way as other movies where you don't feel for the characters as much. It's good acting, but you don't have time to flesh out the characters because the epidemic of the world happens so damn fast. And so everyone kind of slips into character territory besides Sandra Bullock, who owns it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Malkovich kind of slips into territory, like, you know.
Does anybody throw a beer can at him?
I think he throws beer cans at people.
So they're flipping the script. I see.
Yeah. I mean, he's the drunk, and so maybe he threw something. I don't know. He was the drunk guy walking around the shotgun a lot.
No, that's one of those movies that came out that it was like, I don't know, like I feel that the reviews for it were so lukewarm that I just never made it a point to watch it.
I don't feel like they were. I don't know if they were lukewarm so much as like scattered.
No, well, it's like the internet freaked out about it, but the internet
Yeah.
freaks out about things. Like
It's
I don't,
internet. You gotta fill up 24 hours of internet.
I don't make it a point to. I mean, like it's not like Weezer's The Teal album that we're talking here.
Yeah, it's not an instant classic.
I'm not. No, it's an album of instant classics.
It's the same thing.
But
So Aquaman.
But no, but so like I don't make it a point to watch a movie just because the internet's freaking out about the Bird Box challenge or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I don't even.
But
Like the hell with that.
But it still seemed interesting.
It's worth watching, man. Watch it with a friend so
Well,
you can
there's
enjoy it.
okay. Well, that's the thing.
That's the thing. You can't watch by yourself.
Yeah, and that's like I'm not just gonna be sitting around the house before work like putting on Bird Box.
You can't. No, you got to prepare yourself. I personally was freaked out by it, and then was relieved when it was over because it's one of those movies.
But there are plenty of movies that came out this year that do kind of fit in that category of like I really want to see them, I just haven't really had a chance to see them. Like did you get a chance to see Nick Cage's Mandy?
No.
Yeah, that's
Nick
that's
Cage
one of
movies are weird.
those.
They're either randomly on the internet, like a Netflix or Hulu or something. They're in the box office for like 20 minutes, so you don't know how to see it, and then you hear about it, and I swear the next day you find out that it's already came and went.
Or
and Nick
he's
Cage makes like 11 strange movies a year, so it's really hard to keep up.
and or the alternative to that is he's Spider-Man Noir and Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse,
That too. Yeah, or
which
like a
was
cameo
great.
Like that. Oh,
That
yeah.
movie was great.
Let's talk about Spider-Man.
Well, Aaron did voice some opinions on that, and
Yeah.
I have to say that I pretty much agree
Yeah,
across the board.
I can't find anything wrong with
It's
it.
up there with Spider-Man 2.
I was listening to.
I like it every bit as much as Spider-Man Homecoming, and I loved Spider-Man Homecoming.
That was a good movie. I was hearing a podcast today where Leonard Maltin, the famed movie reviewer, has said when he wrote his review for that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, he just said, "This is the best animation of all time." And then everyone in his family, because he works closely with his family, he has a podcast with his daughter. They're like, "Wait, you've seen a lot of animation. You've been watching movies since you were 15."
Brad Bird, take notes. That's how good it is.
And he's just like, "Are you sure you want to say it's the best of all time? Like, didn't you see like your first run of like Pinocchio? Did you see first run?" He goes, "Yeah, no, that's the best animation of all time.
Yeah, it just
Best animated movie of all time."
just where did it come from?
It's just
And it was made by Sony.
Yeah.
It was made by Sony.
Sony can make good movies. It's just they haven't made
No,
a good
Sony
Spider-Man
Sony makes movies like Venom.
one. Yeah.
And don't at me. I know Venom made all the money. I know that it did. I get that. That doesn't mean that it's good. It's very bad.
Okay.
It's very bad.
Yeah.
But no, this movie was great.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I know that Lord and Miller were involved in it, and
I even though they didn't direct it, I consider it their movie.
yeah, but they were involved in it, and I don't know like what that means for them to be involved in it. Like I don't know like what level creatively they were, but I know that everything that they touch is quality. And whenever you know Disney sits back and they see a movie like this come out,
Yeah.
they've got to be kicking themselves over what happened with Solo, because that was the same year. That was
Yeah, it's like 6 months apart, and
I mean, it feels
Doesn't
like
make
so
sense.
long ago because it was back in March. But no, May. Sorry,
Yeah,
May.
May.
The other month that starts with an M.
I think you're thinking of January.
Oh yeah, of course. It's the month of Mansgiving. Dagobah.
You wanna toll the soul a little bit.
Dagobah.
You wanna rotate your
Oh,
crops.
yeah. What could possibly have been so bad? Like it just had to have been the most insulting thing that Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm had ever seen when they looked at the Lord and Miller version. Because I mean, these guys, like they have a proven track record. The stuff that they make is not only like critically appealing, but it's commercially
Yeah.
viable.
Their only failure to that point was Clone High, and that's just because the country of India had a problem with it.
And that was one of their earliest
They're like
things that they
Almost
did.
20 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it was like
Their track record's
early
solid.
early 2000s. Yeah. That's whenever that was that show was airing. And yeah, again, it was just because the Gandhi depiction in India had a problem with it, so that's why they stopped.
Mm-hmm.
But what could the issue have possibly been? Is this what people felt like when Edgar Wright left Ant-Man?
No, because they hadn't started filming Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah,
We haven't
yeah.
seen pictures of Ant-Man yet.
They
and
were
then
like 80%.
we didn't like get really excited about like. Can you imagine if Edgar Wright directed Ant-Man and then we started seeing it happen and then he left when it was close to being done? It was more like, oh, I guess we're not getting that.
Well,
Okay, I guess he can make Baby Driver, which I mean, like I'm sure an Edgar Wright Ant-Man would have been awesome, but I'm really happy we have Baby Driver.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved Baby
Yeah.
Driver.
But-
and that's as may be, it is what it is. But speaking of Ant-Man and the Wasp is another movie that came out last year.
I had
And
fun with that.
It was fine.
It was a good summer movie.
It was easily the weakest of the Marvel movies that came out last year.
Yeah,
But it was
because
also competing against Black Panther, which
was
say what you want about it critically, you can't argue with how important that movie is.
I enjoy it.
And it was very
I
good.
had so much fun. It's a
It
good
was
movie.
very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I
Looks great.
haven't met anybody who says it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like
There's no one who's
it's
like,
very
I
good.
really-"
And then of course there's Infinity War, which is a whole conversation in and of itself, depending on how much you know about the Marvel Universe and care to discuss about it.
I feel like we should have a conversation about Infinity War, but discussing it on terms of a film, is it more important? This is probably gonna cut. Is it more important that we've had a movie 10 years in the making?
That's the point that I make.
That's the point you make.
Every time every time it gets brought up, that's the point I make.
That's a good point, but my brain starts to think, yeah, but judging it by itself, we gotta at least have that conversation.
But that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like there's two sides to judge a movie like Infinity War. Like
Yeah.
on the one hand, yes, what it does is very impressive, but it's only impressive because of the circumstances the movie was made under.
Exactly, that they created.
And they created that set of circumstances. Like they only had that set of circumstances because that's what the Marvel Universe is. And that is very impressive.
Yeah. So
It
when they talk about Black Panther for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and all this stuff, whether it's the Golden Globes or the Oscars,
Well,
I'm like, yeah, totally.
let's get one thing straight. It's only up for Best Picture.
Yeah, it
and
is,
that
but,
tells me a lot of things.
A couple months ago, there was all the talk about everything. So a couple months ago, when I talk about being up for all these awards, I'm like, Black Panther, yeah, that makes sense. And when they talk about Avengers, Infinity War, I'm like,
You see, I'm on the other side. I don't think either one deserves a Best Picture nomination. I know Black Panther got one.
yeah.
I don't think either one really deserved it. Like if the reverse had happened and Infinity War had been nominated for Best Picture, I'd be like, what? Really?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And the only reason that I wasn't like that whenever I didn't react that way whenever the Oscar nominations came out was because of the campaign behind Black Panther. And that's a whole nother like this is kind of veering into Oscar talk. I don't want to get too far into Oscar talk.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like we both I'm sure have a big problem that Sorry to Bother You was not nominated for Best Screenplay, but it wasn't because Boots didn't campaign at all. There was zero campaign for Sorry to Bother You, and that's why Sorry to Bother You didn't get nominated.
They did not push it. They did not pay for ads. They did not
send screeners
to
Nothing.
any academy.
Nothing. And that's why it didn't get nominated.
Yep.
I would have liked for it to because it deserved it, but that's why it didn't, and that's fine.
I think Boots himself referred to it as a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
On Twitter.
He did. He did it on Twitter. And I was like, damn, Boots staying classy. Staying classy on Twitter. Somebody's got to.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's not like I really did enjoy Black Panther. Like it's a very good movie, as is Infinity War. Infinity War is up for Best Visual Effects. It deserves that.
That makes sense.
Black Panther is not. I understand why. The CG in Black Panther is often kind of wonky. As good as some of it looks not as good. It's up for Best Song, Best Score. I get it. Agree.
Yeah.
It's up for Best Sound Design. I get it. Agree. It's up for Best Costume. I get it. Agree.
Totally.
It's up for Best Picture. I disagree. I feel the same way about, I don't think, I love Winter Soldier. In my opinion, that's the best Marvel movie that's been made. Does not qualify for a Best Picture nomination. And here's what I feel about Black Panther. It's got the nomination for Best Picture. You know what it didn't get? Best Director.
Best
Actor or Actress.
Best Supporting.
Best Supporting Actor or Actress.
Yeah.
Best Adapted Screenplay. You know what that says to me? The Academy doesn't believe in this movie. The Academy handed out a token nomination so it could pat the movie about the black guy on the head and say, congratulations, kiddo.
Yeah.
You're one of the gang now. And it also happens to nominate a comic book movie in the process.
Which doesn't really happen much, except for, I think, The Dark Knight, maybe.
Dark Knight only got nominated for Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that's it.
So unfortunately, they had an opportunity with Logan, I feel like, but
Oh, yeah.
that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts on that. But going back to Boots Riley, he didn't get nominated for anything for Sorry to Bother You, but who did get lots of recognition, and he did campaign for it, and he does deserve recognition. That's Spike Lee. Blackkklansman.
Blackkklansman was awesome.
Oh yeah, so
was a
good.
blast.
Blast of a movie. Blast
It's a
of a movie.
while making a very important
Great
point.
performances all around.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Driver's great. Denzel Washington's son, Jonathan Washington, I think his name is. Denzel Washington's son is great.
Yeah.
Eric Foreman as Grandmaster David Duke.
Oh god, he's so that performance is just like I've listened to that guy talk about it. I've listened to Topher talk about it on different podcasts, and he's like, "Well, you want to do well," and he had to go some dark places.
Oh, he was.
to do it
I
well.
think I saw him on Conan
Yeah,
talking about it. Yeah, he was great. He's very charming.
but
He's a
he's
very
gotta,
charming
like,
guy.
go down rabbit holes, and he's just like, he's told a story of I think they showed it at Cannes or Cannes, however you pronounce it. Cannes, and what they were doing, some film festival, they were shooting it, they were showing it. Pause. So I think it was happening some foreign film. Can we just? Okay, that's enough. So at some film festival, they were showing Blackkklansman, and what they didn't tell the cast and the director was when the credits rolled and the names came up, they were going to have like a side shot of a live camera feed on that actor, and when it's just like Spike Lee, it's like a shot of Spike. And when they were like on Washington,
Was he at a Knicks game?
no, it was at the movie, and it was like yeah, clap and cheering. And when they cut over to Topher Grace for playing David Duke, people go yeah. And then the next person came out, and it's like Adam Driver, and they're like, yeah, it's like he's like he got a little worried he's gonna catch a lot of shit for being such a good racist.
It's like that was my role in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. He's solid.
It was my job.
He was acting like that was a hell
I
of
wouldn't
a
be
performance.
surprised if he showed up and was kind of like laying it on a little light, and then Spike Lee had to come and be like, "Hey, look, man, you are the Grand Master of the KKK.
Yeah.
So why don't you act like you're the Grand Master of the KKK?"
Yeah. And
Says some little bitch.
it's weird, like, because he would like listen to David Duke's audiobooks and stuff.
Oh god, that had to suck.
Yeah, he's like, I went to a dark place for a long time
Yeah.
trying to get ready for that role. Which is weird because it seems like it's playing off kind of. It's like it's funny because of the situation. It is funny.
I almost made
It's
like a Heath Ledger Joker joke because we were talking about The Dark Knight a second ago.
Yeah.
I'm glad I only talked about how he almost did it instead of actually doing it. Really dodged a bullet there. Yeah, but speaking of like genre films, mentioned that earlier. There were a lot of good genre films that came out this year, I felt.
Oh yeah.
Like Annihilation.
I like how weird it is.
It's very, very weird.
Yeah, it really forces you to try and explain things yourself.
That's not a movie.
Ways.
That's not a movie that I can go back and watch again and again.
No, it's really not.
But I definitely did have a good time at the theater, just wondering what the hell was going on.
I think it's because we were all there together. There was like 5 of us there, I think.
Yeah,
like we all went as a group, and
we had a decent little.
so we went through the experience together.
Little group going.
Yeah, and it is cool. It does make a lot of points about life and survival and adaptation and all these different things and viruses and whatever. But you're not sure exactly what it's saying. You got to figure it out.
And my biggest complaint is that it didn't have like a 45-minute sequence at the beginning with a bunch of people in ape suits playing with bones. There was no classical
You say that
music
about every movie.
set to objects drifting in space. There was no murderous robot who thought he was doing things for the greater good.
The greater good.
There's none of that going on.
Yeah.
But no, I did enjoy it.
I had a blast. It's on Amazon, so I think I'm gonna rewatch it at some point.
I really did enjoy
Yeah,
it.
I like it a lot.
But again, so Oscar Isaac's kind of been everywhere lately.
He's been working really hard in a lot of movies.
And another one that he was in, because he was in Annihilation. He also, it was another one of those like splash in the bucket kind of movies. Like it kind of just came and went. But Operation Finale.
Yeah, did we see that together? I think we
we went and saw that together. I think we were the only two that were interested in seeing it. I don't think anybody else was interested in seeing it.
I don't know if they knew about it. It wasn't very widely advertised. It was somewhat advertised.
But who did he play opposite? Was it Ben Kingsley?
It was Sir Ben Kingsley.
Oh yeah. And
Just
that
solid.
man. And there and I gotta say, like the movie itself was like, it's whatever, it's fine.
It's mostly sitting around talking about stuff.
It's fine. But watching those two guys play off of each other, they were really good.
It was solid. I had fun watching that.
It's two really strong actors. Say what you want about Poe Dameron.
I enjoy him in movies.
Say what you want about Apocalypse. He's not the reason why Apocalypse was bad.
I don't think it's really any movie of his that doesn't do well. I don't think like he's even close to being the reason.
But like sometimes when actors in a bad movie and it stains them because they were in the bad movie.
It's just funk. Wop it off, baby.
But Oscar Isaac's a very, very talented actor. He's a very strong performer. Ben Kingsley is a seasoned veteran. He's been in a lot of shit.
Have you ever watched Ben Kingsley phone it in a movie?
I kind of felt like he did a little bit in Iron Man 3, but in a good way.
That's fair.
It was like he was. It's like he's playing a double layered role as the Mandarin, and then you unpeel that facade, and now he's kind of just like the slacker guy, and that's kind of like it's like
His own version of phoning it
it's
in.
intentional folding it in, kind of.
You ever seen a movie he does where it's obvious he's doing it for the money?
What do you mean, like Death Wish?
More like Lucky Number 11 or something like that.
Oh yeah, that
where you're
was
just like, this movie's bad, but he's good, but he doesn't have to try that hard because he's Ben Kingsley.
Lucky Number 11 is like what you get when you program an algorithm to write a Scorsese movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
pretty much it.
it's just by the numbers, because you drop the L, you get this many.
I thought I told you to turn that off. Oh, that's the third time, dude. I'm getting really tired
Oh,
of this.
I'm so, I got alarm set. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That should
Alarm set for an app, huh?
that should have taken care of him.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, I had to set all the arms. All the arms are set to clapping.
Okay.
All arms, alarms, all arms.
Dear God.
So last but not least, I just want to. I mean, like, I'm sure that there's more movies we could talk about, but one that we haven't mentioned at all, that it hung around theaters for a little while, and I don't know that any of us were able to go and see it together, but I know that a lot of us did go see it, and that is, of course, Overlord, the story of Anna Faris, who plays a young single woman who befriends a wealthy yacht owner.
That's Overboard.
Who's struggling with amnesia.
That's Overboard with a P.
Oh, that's right. That's Overlord.
Overboard.
Oh, that is a B. I'll be damned. Huh. What was Overlord about again?
Nazis killing people and experimenting and becoming super.
No, we just talked about
Nazis?
Operation Finale.
No. The other, the fun one. The one that was like, oh, this is crazy.
Oh, Wolfenstein 2? Yeah, I'm playing that now. It's a good game.
Yeah, they made a movie about it. They changed
That's
the name.
right.
Yeah.
And there's like a black guy in it, even though there's no...
There's no integration. There's two black guys in it. There's no integration in the army, but still, it works
Not
for the
until
movie, and I'm okay with it.
Like 48, I believe. No, that was a really good movie.
It's solid.
That was a really good movie.
It was so much fun. First time I saw it, I had a couple hang-ups about a few things. Mainly because like that loudmouth New Yorker archetype that's in it.
I love that guy.
I know, but he's not only
and by the end of it, it's like because you're annoyed by him at first.
Yeah.
But then by the end of it, it's like he wins the kid over.
Yeah. I think my problem was like now. I mean, like I'm okay with the trope.
The kid wins him over.
Yeah,
but
I'm okay with the trope.
You know what I mean.
Well, the thing about the loudmouth New Yorker, he's always in a World War II music. I'm okay with that, but I was kind of convinced, even though I couldn't pinpoint it. I've seen that same actor do that same role. I've seen that same actor do the same role in a World War II movie, so I got a little annoyed. But then I thought about,
is it possible that he's typecast
in Hollywood? No, they don't do that there.
Yeah, that'd be downright discriminatory. They don't discriminate in Hollywood.
You even say racist. It's not racist.
So, anyways, Overlord.
Oh, that movie was so much fun, and the opening just kind of
the
messes with your senses. It's like a synapse over fire.
The biggest criticism I can give that movie is that the opening sequence is the best part of the movie. And I really like the whole thing, but it's like that first like 10, 15 minutes. It's
never going to stand up on home video.
It's like
unless you got a crazy good system.
Right? No, it's like Saving Private Ryan, but if it was a horror movie. And that was honestly the thing that whenever I walked out of the theater, that was the first thing that clicked to me was like as old a genre as horror is, and as old a theme and a concept as war is, and we can pretty much all agree that war is horrible.
Yeah, who likes war?
Horrific even. How has it taken us so long to make a horror movie about war?
Exactly. It's weird.
But it worked really well.
Yeah.
Worked really well.
I loved it. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Kurt Russell's kid. And listen, we don't do this on purpose where we forget people's names, especially actors who their parents are actors. We don't do this on purpose to be funny. We kind of just forget because we watch a lot of movies. Like Denzel Washington's son,
what
Kurt
happens
Russell,
when
Goldie
you-
Hawn's son. We don't do this on purpose. And
It's what happens when you watch a lot of movies.
It's hard to keep up.
And like as many movies as we watched, there's movies we didn't watch that we wanted to.
Yeah.
There's movies that we watched and we just forgot to mention
I didn't see Hereditary.
because they were kind of forgettable. I also didn't see Hereditary.
I didn't see Hereditary at all.
That's one of those that I feel like you should watch it just so that you know what side of it you land on. It's just, kind of like Glass is one of those.
Yeah,
Assassination Nation is one of those.
totally.
I feel like there's definitely people that are going to watch that and be like, oh, this is just vulgarity and obscenity. And it's just like, no, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
But that's, that's going to happen. But we are sorry, sons and daughters of famous people, for forgetting your names. Sure that you lived a hard life
They work so hard.
in the shadow of your famous parents,
Yeah, actually.
whose first names we remember.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
I promise that we're going to try to get better. And we're not just going to know your face. We're going to know your name. It's our promise to you. From all of us here, not just at the minute, but at Movie Night Autopsy as a whole. Wait a second, hold on. What the? Do you hear that? Do you hear that laughing? I thought I turned this off. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, Chad. I'm sorry. I have to interrupt your horrible trumpet impersonation.
That's spot on. You know it.
No, I set another alarm and I forgot all about it. But
You have a lot of alarms.
But Chad, I don't know how to tell you, man. It's February.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you know what that means.
No, I don't. It's February. It's February 1st. Taxes are due. That's not even right. Rent's due.
That's probably not what today is. But anyways, no, we're already a month into the new year. We can't be sitting around having a conversation about the best movies of the year 2018 when we're already a month into 2019. We can't. That's ridiculous. Come on, don't be ridiculous, Chad. Seriously.
Hey man, you asked me over.
Yeah, don't try pointing that finger at me now. It's too late for that, and I think you know that, mister. You know what? I'm done. I expected more from you.
I just came over.
I expected more.
I had
And that's it. Nope. No, that's it. That's it.
I-
No, that's it. I'm done.
What are you
Done.
doing?
Nope. Serious.
Where you going?
Shame, Chad.
I hate,
Roll credits.
I hate your stupid podcast. Glad I don't do it often.
Are the credits rolling yet?
No, there's no credits. John has to put them in. There they go. What's up, crew? If you got any idea of what you would like for us to talk about on the Minute or on Movie Night Autopsy podcast, hit us up on the social medias. You can hit us up on Twitter at movie_autopsy. Check us out on Facebook at Movie Night Autopsy. Always feel free to email us, contact@movienightautopsy.com.